always keep changing. Yeah, I know. This is like a week, 2 weeks maybe, I think, waiting for eyebrows to grow back in. The noise that you hear in the background today, I have a piece of lint or something on my face that is bugging me and I can't find it. So if I keep, it's a hair or something, if you see me keep brushing for it, that's what we're doing. Um, the noise you hear in the background is the air compressor. Uh, the man and the boy are mechanicking. It's what they do. So I hope that you can hear me over it. Um, I just wanted to come on. I can't get this open. Say howdy. Haven't been on in a bit. And we're just going to play a little bit because I think we're going out to see real people. We have to, at least somebody from my household has to make a trip to Lowe's. Really don't want it to be me, but that's probably what's going to end up happening. But we're going to start off, we're going to put, usually, I don't do a whole lot with my eyebrows, but since I don't have any, because they're still not growing, you start with just a little bit of concealer. And I'm not real worried. I'm using my Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade I can't see it because I don't have my glasses on. Because what we're doing today. I'm not real worried about the shade because I'm fixing to cover it up. I just need a base to tack it to. So we're going to do this real quick. And ironically, on this eye, the hair's growing underneath here where I don't want it quicker than actually on my eyes. Go figure. Anyway, put a little bit of that down. There's a couple more things I could unbox. I'm just not going to. It just isn't. It's starting to make me feel weird, so we're going to leave that alone for a while. Anyway, we're going to drop everything on the floor. And yes, I'm still in my robe. I haven't decided what I want to wear today. We'll get there. I wanted to do this real quick, and since they're in the garage, yay, this will work. I'm going to start with we're going to start actually with some powder, if I can locate it. Set these brows real quick like. The thought that I have, whatever that is on the side of my face is going to drive me crazy because I can't find it, but I can see it in my peripheral vision. But yeah, anyway, and I'm just putting a little bit of powder, teeny bit, on that concealer just to set it and absorb any of the oil, because I want, obviously, when I draw on eyebrows, I want them to stay where I put them. I was reading this morning. I haven't been keeping up my personal development, is what we will call it, as much as I should, and it became very obvious in some of my behavior. See if I can find, because nope, it's just going to hang out and bug me. It's okay. It just will hang out and bug me. We'll find it eventually. It may be attached for all I know. Anyway, so as we're saying, it became apparent with my own behavior that I haven't been keeping up and handling me. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about this morning was hello, some of the things that happened shouldn't have ever happened. B, my apologies. Hello. Big thought for today. I'm using the Gimme Brow Benefit. And we're going to, because I have a little bit of brow coming back in, we're going to see if it will, and it's not gonna, but we'll fix it. It's not a big deal. We'll just pull that out to just pull some of the growing in stubble. Out just a little bit, and then we'll work with the pencil a little bit. Thank you. Anyway, my thought for today is kind of simple and kind of not simple at the same time. About our potential and how we limit ourselves by what other people say. And I'm guilty of it. Very guilty. Let's see, get a point. We're just going to kind of go back through with, I've never used this pencil before, and I'm not, it's $1 Billion Brows. It came in a BoxyCharm. Thus far, I'm not real impressed with it, but I can't find my other one, so we'll work with it. Just simply because these have to grow back, and until they grow back, I have to keep drawing them back in. It's not my favorite thing to do. I have realized, though, that, hello, thank you. I have realized that we spend a great deal of time trying to make our eyebrows symmetrical, and they really actually aren't supposed to be. So, that's something that we will take into consideration and adjust accordingly. In my situation right now, I'm just happy if they're on my face, because I made the huge mistake of shaving them off. And like I said before, if you hear noise in the background, there's you can't, not really construction, but there's work going on downstairs or down in the garage. And you can hear the air compressor. Just take a brush and kind of fluff those out just a little bit, because I can live with that. Doggone it, I forgot again. Keep meaning to grab. I have the new Tarte concealer, and I keep forgetting to grab it. I want to try it, but I keep forgetting to get it. It's in the other room in a box, which is a good place for it. So, put a little concealer over my eyelids just to work as a base. My brows don't look too bad today. from a distance. Get close up and these bad boys are not that good. Yeah, we take a little. Beauty blender that I've gotten so used to using that I don't hardly use brushes anymore, which is strange because a couple years ago I hated a beauty blender. Things change, people change. Keep looking straight on, they look okay. Tea coffee today. I'm being silly. Being silly. Quite obviously, my husband and I like our coffee different. He likes, I like strong coffee. He likes not so strong. And some days I forget, and when he's nice and offers me a cup of coffee, I say, yes, sure. And then I take a drink and it's like, oh yeah, tea coffee. Whoops. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal. It's just funny. After 30 some odd years, you get to be funny. We're going to go in and use the ColourPop Disney Collection palette just because I want to. And we're just going to do it real quick because, like I said, I got to go out and be around real people, I think. I'm going to go into Chip, which is this first color. And just lay that down all over as a base to kind of set that concealer really well. Ooh, come back here. Kind of got a little aggressive in that pan. Fix that tail on that eyebrow at some point. Okay, I'm gonna go over here too. Of course, a boo. I can't see the again, and put that down as in my crease as a transition. Yeah, that's gonna work just like I want it to. Did I do much on the brush? Did not realize these are for, especially for the price. ColourPop is very pigmented. Anyway, where we were going, let's get that fixed. Things keep moving. There used to be just me that used my bathroom, so I pretty much could keep up with stuff. It's not that way anymore. Clean that up just a little bit. I hope that it is a beautiful day wherever you are. It's calling for some pretty rough weather here. Kind of strange, but it is Kentucky. So that's all I can say. It can be sunny this morning, and by the end of the day, it can be snow. Anyway, we're going to step over. See which way do we want to go. Yeah. And come down to Magic Carpet, which is right here. And I'm sorry, I forget to show you all the colors most of the time because I get talking. And yeah. And today, I'm not used to having especially my husband home whenever I film. Usually it's a race against the time that I need to put Ian on the potty or the next lesson or something like that. So, you know. But today, we're racing against a mechanic job. So, but anyway, that brings me back to my point of where I started a while ago. I was talking about potential. Um, I'm very guilty of it. I caught myself very much so um, very much so. I was asked to do something a few nights ago, and I was excited about it, and I talked to a couple of people, and the feedback that I got was not quite what I wanted it to be. So I kind of said, I think I'm going to shelve that idea. We're going to go into Enchanted Rose. And because I don't want to put a glitter glue or anything like that, I'm just putting just a very small amount over the lid. Because I have to take this off at some point today. And I don't feel like fooling with a whole lot today. As you can tell, because it's like noon and I'm still in my gown. Namely because I have the day off. My husband's on vacation, so he has little man. Anyway, by the way, if you notice I very seldom ever tap off excess, it's because I go in so light-handed most of the time that there is no excess. It's just dropped the brush on the floor. It's just how I am comfortable doing my makeup because it works for me. Go in with clean a clean brush and blend. Yeah, those are words that are easily said. Just get rid of those harsh lines. And I'm just not real, I can't believe that the hair is growing underneath my eyebrow, the very place that I don't want it. And I'm going to go into Poison Apple. With a fluffy brush and just add a little bit of dimension in the corner and kind of pull that up. Into the crease. And you're here, the mirror's there, so yeah. My grandson is not behaving. I can hear my husband. So if you hear a child being fussed at, my grandson is not on his best behavior. We're just going to kind of clean that up just a little bit. I think he may be headed my way. Did we pull a foundation? No, we didn't. It's okay. I'm gonna move along. Talking about potential, and get back onto my thought. Sometimes we get focused on what other people think and say, which is what I'm guilty of. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna use the Pore Professionals. This is Pearl Primer. I haven't tried it yet, so why not today? It's taken, I can't even hold on to it. It's in such a tiny bottle. Oh, they're putting the car back together. I'm sorry, he wasn't in trouble. He's helping Papa put a starter on. And yes, he has his own tools. And yes, they're Mac tools. The reason? Because he has potential. We're just gonna roll with that because that just turned out pretty good. We have learned, you know, we're in the second part of, you know, we've already raised our daughter, so we're helping raise our grandson. And things that we learned from raising our daughter are real simple. One of the biggest things is that you pour into, you explain to them and emphasize how much potential that they have. We're going to go in with a little concealer. We're going to have to do something big on these eyebrows. But you just, if they're interested in something, let them try it. If they're not good at it the first time, let them try it a few more times. They'll figure it out, just like you and I do. You know, if you're not good at something, you know you're not good at it. I do YouTube videos and Facebook videos because I'm not good at speaking in front of actual people. I can talk to a camera all day long. See how that works? Ooh, wait. The primer kind of, I'm not sure about that primer. It kind of balled up. We'll see. Yes, massive bad thing happened over the weekend. Kentucky lost to Georgia. We kind of expected it, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it kind of is. But season's not over yet. Using my favorite Estee Lauder Double Wear. Can't see the shade. 2-in-1. Yeah. Desert Beige, which is one of my favorite shades. I'm going to do it a little bit different than how I've been doing it, and I'm going to use a flat foundation brush. Just simply because over the weekend I didn't feel well. So I watched videos after I had to shut my mouth. I'm just going to paint it on. So I'm trying a different technique that I've seen someone else do, that I've gotten away from doing because I've gotten away from using brushes. Pah. Some people like foundation on their lips. I don't. I lick my lips too much. It tastes gross. Oopsie. Just got a little carried away on that side. I have to go back in and do. Okay, now he's in trouble. Anyway, potential is like a box or a shape, which also is kind of cool because in kindergarten, I just totally screwed that eyebrow up. In kindergarten, homeschool, when we started his kindergarten math, I kind of expected it to be math, numbers. Well, no. It was shapes, which totally just kind of was like with me. But I'm fixing to get a boy. It's okay. Y'all have seen him before, heard me talk about him. It's no big deal. Hey, eyebrow wasn't as bad as I thought. Anyway, I can go back over that. With the Beauty Blender and just kind of stipple it in. I was going to use a stippling brush, but I kind of got distracted. Because I don't know if I'm getting a child or not. So anyway, back to potential. We often get sidetracked thinking about what other people think about or are going to think about what we're doing or what we're going to do or what we have in mind to do or whatever the case may be. I hear my boy. What?
I can't do this job with him.
Okay, get your iPad, please.
He's scaring me. He keeps trying to crawl under the car and
It's
floor,
okay.
and it's scaring me. And I keep telling him to get up the floor. I'm getting upset,
It's okay.
and I don't want to be mad
It's
at
okay.
him.
He can get his iPad. It's okay.
I'm sorry. It's very difficult, and
It's okay.
sorry. I'm making a video. I'm sorry. I'll just calm down and take him. It's my fault.
No, he can watch his iPad. He's okay.
Come here. Let me see how dirty you are. Turn around. Turn around. Okay. I got an idea. Maybe I'll take the iPad and set him in a chair. He'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
Well, I feel bad now because I got upset with him and I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
No, it's not. He's not being bad. He's just curious and he's rubbing on everything and he had dirt all over his face and his hands. I had to wash him and he won't stay on the floor. And I keep telling him and next thing I know he's right back to the floor. Hey, get up out of it. Then I started getting upset.
Okay.
So I had to bring him in.
He's just being little. He's all right.
And it's my fault for not being understanding.
Now they're making up. And take some brow pomade and put it on the back of my hand. Just kind of straighten this because it still looks a little ain't real keen. And yucca. Should have probably left well enough alone. Anyway, potential is I got one ear in their conversation and it's kind of comical. Potential is like like a shape. When you're given a promotion or something to that effect, you're put into a different position. And that was a bad idea to use this. really, really bad idea. Just not going as planned. Really bad idea. Just gonna take that. Back and go back with the This is why I don't do this whenever they're home. Perfect example. Go back. Because I've totally lost my train of thought. And my ability to fix this. I have to find a makeup wipe. Frustration has set in. That's okay. This is live, right? Life. Just go back through and redo. Quite possibly the worst makeup look ever. My poor beauty blender. That's better. I'm really disgusted, guys. Sorry. I have to gather myself. As I said earlier, I've had issues with keeping my own temper intact. And the biggest reason is because I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to be doing to keep it there. Been worrying way more about other people's business than I need to. So that here we are, frustrated. So we take a deep breath and do this again. Completely destroyed the first time around. Do not do this at home. Do not. Do not get aggravated with the world and shave off your eyebrows. It is not a good plan. Unless you are very, very skilled, which I am not clearly, at getting them back on. And in case you didn't catch the entire, my husband is not upset because my grandson is with him. He's upset because he's doing a job and there's a potential, not a great big huge one, a potential that he could get hurt. And we are overbearing grandparents. And so that's where that is. We are those grandparents that are terrified anything could ever possibly happen to him. But anyway, So that's where that is. We're just going to go back through with the Gimme Brown, see if we can't resurrect these poor little things that I destroyed earlier. And we're going to talk about potential either way. Because, yeah. Because these eyebrows even have potential. Keep bringing it back and making it funny. But just stay with me because today just has not been one of my better video days. It just is what it is sometimes. But with potential, what I was talking about, and I keep going back to because I keep getting frustrated. I think I did better the first time with just kind of like drawing them on and leaving. Anyway, with potential, we get tangled up in what other people think and say and all that good stuff, and I'm guilty of it. I'm mega guilty. Like I said, I was asked to do something that's way out of my comfort zone. Way, 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 way. And when I talked to a couple of people about it, a couple of people that are very, very, their opinions matter a whole lot about to me. Whenever I spoke to them about it, and partly because some of it was in text, so that, that's going to take away. It's hard to read intention in text. We're still working on these eyebrows, and I really don't know why. Because I think they're hopeless. I really do. But anyway, the end result, I got discouraged about the whole ordeal, and was just kind of like, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth, it's not worth the trouble, because, it could lead to something, it could lead to nothing. What's the point? So I give up. I give up on these eyebrows. It's kind of like a Jesus take the wheel on these. Do not, please do not do what I did. I cannot do them. I cannot fix them with a pomade. I cannot fix them with pretty much anything I have in my arsenal at this point. And doggone it, I'm getting angry because I can't find my stuff. So we're just going to kind of do this and let it ride and call it a day. There we go. I am not the person that I watched do the tutorial for brows. So we're doing it my way. And I'm not really a brow person. We're doing it my way. When these grow back out like they're supposed to, we'll work on the rest of it. Anyway, back to the main thought. Potential is putting yourself into a different shape. It's like, we hear the saying of, doing stuff out of the box, thinking outside the box. That's what your potential is. Boy, my dad would be proud of these eyebrows, I'm telling you. Yeah, not so much. Oh, really? The object of what I'm doing is that I don't really want them to look drawn on. But I don't think I'm going to get away from that, so it will just have to be what it is. Anyway, potential falls into that same line of that, you know, you never know what you can do or can't do until you try. That's your potential. You know, whenever you decide that you can't do something, put just a touch of brown powder, because the problem I run into on the camera, it looks good. In the mirror, the black against my skin looks blue. And I've had blue eyebrows before. Did a Facebook Live video, sick with bronchitis in both lungs. Should have had my stupid self in the bed, but I wanted to do a Facebook video. I grabbed the blue liner. Didn't even know it till I went to take it off. So now I'm very, very cautious about a blue hue. Because I almost turned around and did it again when we went to the cemetery for our first wreath across America after my dad passed away. And it's like, no, we're not doing that. We are going to take a little concealer and clean this up just a little bit on these brows. We got one crazy tail thing happening. Not a big deal. We're going to quit worrying about it because it's taking my entire thought and my entire video. So we're just going to pull that down. When eyebrows aren't your thing and they become what you have to deal with, it becomes a challenge to do every part of your makeup, which is where we're at now. So yeah, and I still don't like them, but I'm gonna leave it kind of just let it go for right now. I'm full with them off camera. Because I want to talk just a little bit more about use the It Superhero. Yeah, my hair looks gorgeous today, doesn't it? It's all pulled back out of my face. Use the It Superhero mascara. It is not waterproof, I don't believe. I see nothing on it that says that it is. And if you follow my videos, you know that I prefer a waterproof mascara. And let's see. Okay, if I just don't make any expressions, it's an okay thing. It's the expressions that kill the eyebrows. But anyway, my daughter has been so tickled because I make so many expressions. And she's like, Mom, it's not the fact that you don't have eyebrows, it's the fact that, you know, when you make your facial expressions, I'm used to seeing, you know, eyebrows, and it's not happening. But anyway, potential is, I keep getting that part out and nothing further. Which is sad. Not sure how I'm liking this mascara. Eyebrows still look blue. Potential, it's not being afraid to try stuff. You know, And I've noticed a pattern, and I'm going to get myself in all kinds of trouble, and I just have to. We have a habit of pointing out what we don't like about other people. And it's really easy to do. Really, really easy. But it seems like we have a harder time lifting each other up. And, that's one of the things that, and one of the moments that was just very, very you notice that earlier my husband came up and he was upset with my grandson. He wasn't angry with my grandson per se, as in he was in trouble. He was upset because he was afraid that doing this job there was a potential for him to get hurt, and he didn't want that to happen. And what he was trying to accomplish wasn't working. My grandson has a mind of his own. Um, so in his frustration, it was bring him to me, to bring him back to me, and, we'll kind of go from there. Well, um, as he took his iPad and they went back down the steps, I heard my husband apologize to my grandson. And that's huge. That's a big deal. Because, this is an adult apologizing to a 4-year-old because he didn't lose his temper, but he was on the verge of losing his temper. And it wasn't because my grandson was being bad. It was because my grandson, there was a potential for harm. And my husband was trying to protect him from that. So, I'm just kind of just gonna, potential just is potential. There's potential for danger. There's potential for good. There's absolutely zero potential for these eyebrows because, as you can see, I have been fooling with them for about an hour, and there just is no getting them there. I don't think. They look good until I start talking, and so this video about potential is really all about these eyebrows that don't have any. But anyway, if we get down to the bottom of where this is, because I'm going to finish this up because, mechanical things are going on, and, I need to. I also need to do something else. We limit our own potential. My gosh, these eyebrows are just horrible. There's nothing wrong with trying to do something and failing. Thank God I can wash these things off of my face. And I will tell you right now, I'm not real keen on this mascara. It does not seem to really be doing anything fantastic for my little lashes. And it's a very, very wet formula and thin, and I prefer a thicker. But I will also tell you one thing that I have learned about first time uses is that you don't get the full, especially with the tube of mascara, you don't get all of the product because it's not completely on the brush is not coated as well as it can be. Anyway, I'm going to just go like this and pretend like I don't have these because they keep distracting me. If there's something in your world that you think you can do, or that you want to do, or that you're interested in doing, try it. Go out on that limb. Give it a whirl. It can't be any worse than these eyebrows are. And if you fail at it, you have a choice of doing one of two things. You either try again, figure out what you did wrong and try again, or you figure out that it's not something that you're good at and let someone that's good at doing that do it, and you do something that you're good at and leave them alone and let them do it. I think at some point in time we've gathered a message today. Don't know. I cannot quite get a look to pull together really well today, so we're just gonna stop and go in with a little bit of blush because it can't get any worse, says she, who has already destroyed a face. And no, for the record, no, I'll fix these before I go out into public, I promise. I'm just going to take just a little bit of, I can't remember the color, and yes, it's broken to pieces. It happened on a trip. Take just a little bit of Unique Blush. Can't remember the color name. I think it might still be available. I'm not sure. Don't know, don't care. I was very disgusted that all of these broke. Very discouraged that they all broke because they were very, very, when they broke, it was on a trip, and they were very, 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 very snugly put in the back of my car. And the pallets that were under and above didn't break. So there you go. But anyway, probably going to go in with some contour and pull my forehead down, and that might help with these eyebrows. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to do that offline, off camera. So anyway, this is my PJ look for Monday. Don't forget, don't sell yourself short with potential. If you think you want to do something, try it. If you fail, figure out what you did wrong, try it again. If you can't get it to ever work, do something else. It's my thought for today, is your potential. Remember, I'm the mayor's daughter, fixing to throw some contour on here and try to smooth this down a little bit and make it halfway decent. Y'all have a good day. I'll see you. Bye. Oh, we need to stop.